It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost with me here, Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. Right, on the show today, there's a very special interview coming your way later today. She's wowed the world and she's finally back in India. Watch the armless archer and wonder girl, Sheetal Devi, speak to us exclusively on Firstpost. But that's not all. Pakistan cricket bosses announce a connection camp. What's this latest gimmicky sounding term, and can they truly shake up a system that has always been mercurial over the years? And the USA men's football team is facing severe backlash for drawing a friendly against New Zealand, a country that's ranked 80 places below them. Can the USA men's team do what their women have been able to do for years now? But first, let's take a look at the headlines in Sports 360. Starting with cricket, Afghanistan Cricket Board, or the ACB, admitted they chose the Noida venue as it was logistically the more viable option for them. They had direct flights to get there, even as BCCI had given them alternate venue options in Kanpur and Bengaluru. The admission, of course, comes after rains and lack of facilities in the stadium washed away 3 days of play in the one-off test between Afghanistan and New Zealand. Over in football and the World Cup qualifiers, Colombia exacted revenge for the Copa America loss, beating a Messi-less Argentina 2-1 in another match. Brazil's heartbreak continued as they lost to Paraguay 1-0. Despite the presence of Vinicius and Rodrigo, the Brazil side failed to score a single goal. The loss was Brazil's fourth in 8 2024 World Cup qualifiers. Harry Kane starred in his 100th appearance for England when they took on Finland in a Nations League match. Kane fired 2 goals to help his side seal a 2-0 win. Kane is the first England men's player to reach 100 caps since Wayne Rooney in 2014. Staying with football, China Football Association has imposed a lifetime ban on 38 footballers and 5 officials over match fixing. They also include national players. 120 matches had been fixed and 41 football clubs were found guilty in the 2-year-long investigation. A month ago, former vice president of the football body had been sentenced to 11 years in prison for bribery and fixing. Australian Olympic hockey player Tom Craig has been banned for 12 months. This follows his arrest in Paris for buying cocaine during the Games. Hockey Australia said 6 months of the suspension will be served, while the other 6 would be suspended based on conduct. And Australian breaker Rachel Gunn, famously called as Ray Gunn, tops the latest breaking world rankings. The World Dance Sport Federation clarified its rankings didn't include Olympic or qualifying events. Reagan, a 37-year-old university lecturer, failed to score a single point at Paris Olympics and was trolled for that performance. Pakistan Cricket Board finds itself in a huge mess, a mess that many Pakistan cricket's ardent fans and followers truly believe is their own doing. A little less than 2 years ago, things were different for the men in green. They were world #1 side. That now seems a little hard to believe. And the good days do seem like it was a long time ago. PCB is running out of options, and that's what it feels like at this point. So in a desperate attempt to shake things up, reset minds, get cricket back on track, and of course, win back fans who've gone missing in action, PCB chief Mohsin Naqvi has come up with a grand plan. That plan goes by the name Connection Camp. Sounds gimmicky, yes. Will it work? Who's to say? The one constant in Pakistan's cricketing system is the unpredictability of it. One day they are best in the world, and the very next they plummet to being one of the worst. All highs and lows are a part of Pakistani cricketing fabric, their culture, something fans know only all too well. So what does the PCB want to achieve with this? They want a rejig, a fresh restart, a review meeting between the biggest stakeholders of this sport currently will meet. So PCB chief himself, followed by the coaches Gary Kirsten, Jason Gillespie, The two captains, Shan Masood and Babar Azam, and a few key centrally contracted players will get together to have a meeting and come up with a strategy, a way to restore the pride and excellence of Pakistan cricket, a way to rebrand their style, chart a new path that they need to walk on here on. A brand new Pakistan cricket. That's the aim. Come up with a vision, a plan for the future of Pakistan cricket from the grassroots right up to the international arena. It sounds fancy, sounds ambitious, and I'm very eager to see where this will head, because this is what I perceive. On one hand, you have a resume that speaks for itself, that of Gary Kirsten as coach and mentor. We know what he's capable of and what he can do. There is a history that he's part of and things that he's achieved which are memorable and hard to repeat. And then, of course, there is Pakistan cricket. It's produced legendary players, yes, but continues to be a mercurial setup, not the kind of terms you want to associate with legacy and handing down something. If the PCB wants changes, they need to be open to changes. Just renaming a domestic ODI tournament as Champions One Day Cup, for example, is not enough. Saying that AI will be used to pick teams, that's plain ridiculous. You of course know it, I know it, the die-hard Pakistan fans of course realize it too. It's just that PCB needs to wake up to this. PCB chief compares this connection camp to the one England had back in 2015, when the entire think tank wanted a fresh approach, a review. So they rebranded their style of cricket. We all were aware of it. We saw what happened thereafter. They went on to be the #1 ranked side, win the ODI World Cup in 2019, and of course followed that up with the T20 World Cup win in 2022. And it's ironical that Pakistan is choosing this moment to do the same, a review, right before they take on England. The connection camp is scheduled to take place on the 23rd of September, which is smack in the middle of their Champions One Day Cup tournament. Now, here's the thing. Pakistan will also have to address the way cricket is handled, from grooming domestic talents, making sure they remain contracted to the national side instead of meandering to T20 leagues, curating a long-term vision, which means persisting with captains, persisting despite initial failures. Will the PCB be able to turn over a new leaf all of a sudden, embrace patience and employ a strategy for the long run? Here's a country that is about to host its first ICC event in a very long time. They want changes and they want those to happen overnight. Pakistan cricket bosses need to realize this will take a while coming, because many issues are quite deep-rooted, like we've been seeing. And if they need the system to reboot, they need to give that same system that much more time to do so. All I can say is I can't wait to see what will unfold post the 23rd of September. When I say USA and football, what comes to your mind first? The women's team, of course. Yes, world champions, the legendary Alex Morgan, and stories of her dominance. But you don't really think of the men's team as much, do you? Well, for a while, they have been trying to reset their system, get their men's football team to be just as incisive as their women. Nevertheless, on paper, they are the 16th ranked side in the world, not too far behind to start bringing change. A prominent reason then to get someone like Mauricio Pochettino as coach, someone who's been at the helm for big English football clubs. Though let's keep the Chelsea chapter to the side, shall we? But even before Pochettino could really take over his duties, USA football finds itself in a place that's got fans fuming. Picture this, a 16th ranked side failing to win against a 94th ranked team. Quite an upset even from USA's perspective. They still managed to draw against New Zealand in a football friendly, an outcome that brought on a lot of flack. The reason behind such an outcry is quite simple. A difference of almost 80 ranks is huge, and yet USA managed only to draw. Only 3 days ago, USA in fact lost to Canada 1-2 in another friendly encounter. Now that's a team making some strides, Canada. They moved up to 40th in the world rankings after an impressive 4th place finish at the Copa America. So the anguish directed towards USA men's football is only building. And mind you, this was a full-strength USA side that was present. No absentees, all there with Christian Pulisic in the side, who did manage to score the lone goal in the 69th minute. But a defensive mix-up in the 89th minute was all it took to bring USA back to reality. Pulisic's reaction said it all. This is a player who is currently the face of USA men's football team. He plays for AC Milan and not too long ago was a starter for Chelsea, has won the Champions League, Super Cup and even the Club World Cup, but has seen only failures as part of the USA men's lineup.
It's time to turn the page and we really have to pick it up a level. Everyone is part of this and it feels pretty low right now, but I know there's better times ahead.
Yes, but here's the thing. For years now, Team USA has been waiting for those better times that Pulisic is referring to, because ever since 1990, the country has regularly been qualifying for the FIFA World Cup, the 2018 edition being the only year they missed, but the best finish has been only reaching round of 16. And this despite the immense facilities the country boasts of. The Major League Soccer structure, for example, is one that has been established for a while. So much so that stars like Messi, Suarez are all part of it. For years now, we've seen big names like David Beckham, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, all coming to the league. In short, the Major League is better than many of the leagues in the world, even better than Brazil or Mexico's domestic structure. And yet, success for the national men's side on the global stage has been elusive. Pochettino has arrived at such a time, a manager who himself is looking for a revival of his coaching career after his failed stint with Chelsea.
The decision to join US soccer wasn't just about football for me. It's about the journey that this team and this country are on, the energy, the passion, and the hunger to achieve something truly historic here. Those are the things that inspired me.
Now, despite the Chelsea fiasco, Pochettino comes with some experience. He took Tottenham to Champions League final in 2019 and won 3 domestic titles with Paris Saint-Germain. But managing USA team comes with challenges, because Pochettino has never been an international manager before. Yes, that is key. Why, you ask, and why is it relevant here? Now, in club football, you get to interact with players quite regularly. There is always action. Unlike the one in international football, you get to meet players only during the breaks. And for a massive revival, which is what is required here in this setup for USA men's football team, time is essential. You need more time with players. You need to spend more time with them, get to know them better to try and develop a new system. That's exactly what the need of the hour is. Especially for a team like USA that continues to be in transition despite being present for a very long time. And why is this important now? Because the World Cup is around the corner. World Cup 2026 will be coming home. America will finally be able to fully embrace the sport, and with the team playing in front of their home crowd, it has to be the perfect setting to make some sort of an impact, to make a splash. So pressure is huge. Pochettino is tasked with not just making up the numbers in the World Cup. He has to also ensure USA proves to be a dominant force, because the country needs a football upheaval. We've seen how impactful Pochettino has been with teams that have lesser known players. He works better that way. He did that with Tottenham. He couldn't really manage that with Chelsea or a Paris Saint-Germain because of the big players in that side. Sure, USA has a few stars in it, but not legends that grab all the attention. So here the focus would be on the manager, on the Argentine manager, and he should revel in that scenario. Plus the prospect of proving himself as a national team coach, that ought to be tempting, especially with a team like USA that is struggling. Maybe all of this would work in Pochettino's favor, but more than anything, the onus of an upheaval lies with the players. And maybe that, and only they, need to look at their female compatriots for a little more inspiration. Right? It's been a busy day here as I finally got to meet a 17-year-old who's taken the world by storm. She's come back from a successful Paralympics campaign, an archer who redefined the basics of archery itself. And to think she's just a teenager. The armless archer, who is setting an example for not just Indian athletes but sports persons across the globe, the girl from a village in Jammu and Kashmir. Para-athlete sensation Sheetal Devi won bronze in the mixed team event at the Games. But more than her medal, it was her bullseye that got everyone talking. We'll bring you the full interview a little later, but here's a sneak peek into the shy, supremely talented Sheetal Devi. शीतल, दिस इज़ अ रैपिड फायर. रैपिड फायर यानी कि मैं कुछ सवाल पूछूंगी और आप बस जो भी पहले जवाब जो आता है आपके मन में वो आप दीजिए, और उसका थोड़ा एक रीज़न भी दीजिए कि वो क्या है. ठीक है? बहुत सिंपल. जिसकी वजह से आप आर्चरी ज्वाइन किए या फिर ये स्पोर्ट आपने शुरू किया, कौन था वो?
वो मैंने सबसे पहले मैट को देखा था, तो जो वो भी पैर से करते थे, तो मैंने उनको देखा और सर ने मुझे वीडियो दिखाई थी कि तुम ऐसे चलाओगी, तो फिर मैं उनको देख के ही मतलब कि मैंने भी सीखा और सर ने भी मुझे सिखाया.
जब आप आर्चरी नहीं करते हो, आप क्या करते हो जब जो आपको बहुत प्रसन्नता या बहुत ही हैप्पीनेस, जो आपको बहुत ही खुशी देती है?
मुझे एक तो खुशी देती है जब मैं अपने मतलब फैमिली के साथ रहती हूँ और बच्चे भाई बहनों के साथ रहती हूँ, तब मैं बहुत खुश होती हूँ.
नाइस. एक चीज़ या एक मूवी जो आपने देखा, एक फिल्म जो आपको बहुत पसंद आया और आपको बहुत छुआ?
मैंने एक मूवी देखी थी, मेरा नाम दिमाग में नहीं आ रहा, वो बहुत ही अच्छी थी और मोटिवेशन वाली मूवी थी. मेरे को उसका नाम थोड़ा सा भूल गया, सॉरी.
एक पर्सन, एक आइडल आपका जो होता है, जिसको आप देख बोलते हैं कि ऐसे बनना है, ऐसे कोई है आपकी ज़िंदगी में जो आपको इंस्पायर करता है, प्रोत्साहन देता है?
मैट एक जो पैर से चलाता है, बहुत ही अच्छा खेलता है. जैसे कि आज उन्होंने ओलंपिक में गोल्ड जीता था इंडिविजुअल, और मैं पहले से ही उनको मतलब देखती हूँ और सच में मुझे लगता है मुझे भी इनकी तरह बनना है.
ओके. सबसे आप अगर अब तक अपनी करियर या अपनी लाइफ को आप देखेंगे, क्या एक वन मोमेंट है जो आप हमेशा उसको देखकर आप बहुत खुश होते हैं? एक मोमेंट.
मेरा एक मोमेंट यही है कि जब मैं गोल्ड जीतती हूँ, मेरे देश का तिरंगा जब लहराता है, एंथम बजता है, मेरे लिए वो मोमेंट बहुत अच्छा है.
अगर आप किसी को एक एडवाइस देना चाहते हैं जो दूसरे अगले जनरेशन हो या फिर आपके भी साथ में जो उभरते आ रहे हैं, क्या एडवाइस देंगे आप?
बाकी बच्चों को मैं बाकी बच्चों को, उनके माता पिता को ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि वो भी अपने बच्चों को स्पोर्ट्स में डालें, ताकि आने वाले समय में ज़रूरी नहीं हो कि वो आर्चरी में आए. बहुत सारी गेमें होती है जो वो खेल सकते हैं और आने वाले समय में अपने देश को वो मेडल दें.
अगर आप अपने करियर तक अभी आप देखते हैं, अपने लाइफ में अगर आप देखते हो, अगर मैं पूछूं, अगर आप एक चीज़ या एक घटना या एक चीज़ आपके लाइफ के बारे में आप चेंज करना चाहते हो, क्या आप कुछ करोगे? और अगर नहीं, क्यों? अगर हाँ, क्यों और कौन सा?
या ऐसा कोई चीज़ तो है नहीं ना, मेरे दिमाग में ज़्यादा चीज़ें चलती है और मैं इसके बारे में क्या बताऊँ आपको.
नो प्रॉब्लम. आपका फेवरेट खाना?
मेरा फेवरेट खाना राजमा चावल.
ऑफ कोर्स, मैं गेस करने वाली थी, मुझे समवॉट पता था कि यही आंसर होगा. और अगर आप एक रूटीन अगर मैं बोलूँ कि हर वक्त जब आप जाते हो, एक कॉन्टेस्ट के पहले, एक मैच के पहले, एक आर्चरी के पहले, कुछ एक चीज़ आप हमेशा करते हो और वो कभी भूलते नहीं हो, वो कौन सा एक चीज़ है?
वो अपना प्रोसेस.
उसके बारे में कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे?
अब जब हम गेम से पहले या खेलने से पहले जब वही सोचते हैं कि अपने प्रोसेस को फॉलो करना, जो हमें कोच ने बताया हो कि अगर तुम अपने प्रोसेस को फॉलो करोगे तो सब अच्छा ही होगा.
थैंक यू सो मच शीतल. हमारे से बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया एंड कंग्रेचुलेशंस. आप ऐसे ही आगे बढ़ते जाएं.
थैंक यू. मेरी कहानी को देखें एक्सक्यूज़ की फर्स्ट पोस्ट पर.
Yes, don't forget to catch that exclusive interaction with the Paralympic medalist Sheetal Devi later tonight. Time for last serve. Former Barcelona forward Memphis Depay signed for Brazilian club Corinthians just a few months ago. But even before the Dutch player was officially presented, fans gave a warm reception to Depay. They didn't want to wait for the unveiling ceremony and gathered at the airport to welcome him. Quite a rousing reception but that wraps up First Sports here today. I'll of course see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye bye.